Oh, here we are. Mm, Thanks for coming, all of you that are here, and those of you that might watch this another time. And here's some more folks. I was sending this out to whoever I could, putting on Facebook and beyond. So that's my hope, is that we can support each other at a time that Brian raised there, yeah, and Chandra, time that can feel kind of big. So first, welcome for those who haven't been to any of my classes. Know that if you're here, you probably registered, and if you registered, you can have access to everything that's gone up to now. And that's what I'll do also, is to put this both on our landing page for this class, and then I also will share it on our public YouTube channel of Evolutionary Power Institute. So you can find it there and find the previous things. And I don't know what we'll do after this week. This is supposed to be the last of 8 classes. And who knows if that's actually going to be accurate, because maybe some folks could use a little support. Now, one of the things that I would suggest to all of you, and I'm going to do it too, is that you get to come into your body a little bit. This material is very much to support your body. There's a lot of theory and information behind why would we do that. The main reason I'd say right now is to start to notice your body, with the skill eventually being notice when you're in reactive brain, and then use shift moves to shift your physiology to get to creative brain. And the idea behind that is, if you are in reactive brain, well, when I'm in that, I'm reacting, right? It's all instinct. There's no pause, there's no thought. I'm just a reaction, sort of reflex. You hit my knee in the right place and I kick out, right? And so the idea would be to give you choice back, because then when you shift your physiology, and you all know what I'm talking about eventually, maybe not today, but that those times that you feel open-hearted and things are possible, that you can notice how much your own thinking changes. And that's the idea here, is then to give you the ability to notice that you're in reactive brain, because for many folks, it's just sort of the way life is. And then to say, oh, and there's a way to get back to creative brain. Hi, Janet. Good. Glad you're here.
Hi. Sorry to be late.
Well,
That's my
glad you're here.
cousin Janet in
Oh,
Minnesota. I just have to
oh,
Yes.
say out loud.
Hi, Julie.
oh, lovely. Cousin Janet, and
Hi,
Julian's over there
Nikki.
too. Yeah, so fun. So fun to see folks. So that's over and over the pathway. And hi, Julian, that to get better and better at it. And also to know that just by being on this call, yay, you did something that wasn't just in reaction. Somehow, some part of you decided to come forward and say, well, I don't know what we're going to do here or who these people are, but I'm going to do something a little bit different, or I'm going to step in instead of just all of the fight, flight, freeze reactions that are, of course, well in hand. Including the fantasies that people I'm hearing, where am I going to move to? What, I got to get out of here. I can't do this. This is too much. Or just kind of a frozen response, and into the despair of, oh, there's nothing I can do. So to start to see that all of those are just part of being mammals, a mammal, that of course, that's what we would lean back into under threat. They're all threat responses. Fight, flight, freeze, fun, all the F's. Now we got some more, a lot of F's. But to be like, whatever your mind is coming up with as a solution, if you're in reactive brain, it's because you're a mammal. So of course it is. And then with this support of us and some material, that doesn't have to be those aren't the only possibilities. That in fact, if you can notice some things and shift, that then your world can open up, and you can start to imagine some new thoughts, new possibilities, and new creative actions. So to just kind of lay that out in terms of today, what I'm imagining us doing is I'm going to do a little bit more intro here, and then I'm going to walk us all through the 10 steps from my book on evolutionary power. Now, this is what I did at 3:25 this morning. Just so you know, I was awake. I was like, here we go again. Kath and I both went to sleep really late, and then we're both awake. We're like, wow. Anyway, so these 10 steps are not just for you. They're for me. I have some data to suggest that they work and they help. I did go back to sleep, so that was good for me. And I also have a whole bunch of new thoughts about this context today. So yay, like I didn't expect that. I thought today was just going to be a day of mourning and grieving. And of course, there's place for that. Not suggesting anything besides where you are, but maybe to give you some support to shift into something that might feel better. So I'm going to do the intro comments beyond that, just to give you, because this was what I was thinking about. One of my shift moves today was to go boxing. I box. That was fun. That was a good idea. But somewhere, I think driving away from that, I started thinking, oh, okay. Here, this is a totally arguable formulation, okay? But this is some new thought I had. Is it true? I don't know. But overall, in my experience, let's see how to really describe this. So some of you know I think a lot about power, and that I think power struggles are an issue of hierarchy, and this whole experience of power over and power under, that power struggles, two sides trying to push and get what we want. I want you, oh, no, I want this. And that eventually, and maybe even very quickly, we lapse into somebody's up and somebody's down. And so there's all kinds of ways of describing, right? Probably infinite. People are describing, even now, writing the articles or the books to say, okay, this is what happened. I have no idea what happened, but one idea here would be that even if Kamala Harris had won, there would be this power down experience for other folks. I mean, I don't know if you had that, but I certainly wondered, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen for the folks that didn't win? Okay, well, now we're in that. Well, I don't know if you are the we here. I'm not suggesting that one is better than the other. I'm saying, that this whole paradigm is the problem, is the issue. And so even if one, like, okay, so, right, somebody won, somebody lost, and that the paradigm itself is so limiting to us. So I think now this is why I'm smiling today. I have no idea if this is going to make any sense. That's why we need a shift. And then maybe it will make more sense. But I think that it's time for a new possibility. And that's this whole idea of evolutionary power, that it's not about who's winning and who's losing. It's not power over, power under, and who's going to get better at power over. When I was thinking about this, I was remembering, so my instinct as fourth of four kids, I go power under first. If you say, Julie, I'll probably go, what? But then at some point, I decided it was time for me to get better at power over. I don't think I really thought about it that way. I thought, oh, I need to be more assertive. I got to get in there and be, hold my ground and be. But what I noticed now, thinking back over that time, is I just got to be a better asshole. I mean, really, it wasn't, I could argue the point, and it can make somebody feel really bad and it didn't help really me or the issue. I'm not like, oh, that was good. When I think back to that time, I mostly feel cringy and think about the relationships that I lost because I was able to do that. At the time, that's not what I was imagining, as you can well imagine. What has helped me the most, and now I want to I mean, my heart is so full because letting go of that means that, oh, it's power with. And I get to hang out with you all and we get to connect and we get to talk about what's real and we get to imagine how can everybody get everything they want. Everybody get everything they want. It's not about me trying to force you or me giving into you. It's not that. It's really pushing us. I think it's birthing us into this new era and new possibility. So is it true? I don't know. But to just offer you that maybe the problem isn't that whatever all the things that my mind was thinking about in the middle of the night, and then anticipating the future and what's going to be. It's like, uh, maybe the issue is that the whole paradigm is just too small for us anymore, and it's time for something brand new, or not even new, something we've always known, we instinctively do, and that it's time to kind of bring back forward and get better at, instead of letting reactive brain run the show, because fear and threat still, right? That's part of what I think we're facing, we're dealing with. Okay, so that's just as a possibility, just to put that out there. And then meanwhile, what I imagine doing today is walking us collectively through these 10 steps. And so I'm going to show them to you. We've been playing around with them for the last 7 classes. So again, you can go back to the in-depth version of this in all the other classes. And especially, I would point you to the very first class where I try to give the context of this whole thing so that you understand why these steps, how does that even make sense? So, but I'm going to show you what are the 10 steps. Well, they're in the little book, which I will put into your chat. So you've got it. If you don't have it yet, it's a PDF, but I have real books. And if you want real books, let me know. I'll send them to you. If you're in Canada, well, just help me with the postage. Or Australia. I haven't sent any to you, Jen, or New Zealand, Channel. I don't know. I know we can do it. So here are these step 1 through 10. It's a lot of steps. I know that, but we're going to do them. We could use a lot of steps today. That's my opinion. So I'm going to stop the share, but just know that's what I'm going to be referring to. And now is when I will put the PDF into the chat. So you've got it. Please share this with anybody. It's been an interesting experience for me. When Michelle Obama said, what are you going to do? And I go, that was been the big question. What are you going to do in this election? I don't know, because I probably am not going to be knocking on doors. Well, I thought, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write this book and put it out into the world. People, I think, have been really surprised when I say to them, here, you want a free book? Of course, they're like, who are you? And what are you just going to be haranguing me? That's my fantasy, my projected. Or what are you, is this some other religious cult? So it's a little bit awkward. I don't really know how to offer something because people just it's suspicious. Why free? Well, because it's my service, and service at this point in my life is really important to me. So yeah, I know it's odd, especially if I'm giving you actual free books. It's like, what? But I am. But you can donate to this project. Maybe Laura Downing will put Laura, I don't know if you can find that QR code, but if we'll put the QR code, well, we, meaning Laura, we'll put the QR code in the chat. If you want to donate so that we can create more books, that's how to do that. That's what I was imagining, just proactive seeding, getting it out there, and then people would donate, and so that I could create more books. I've used them almost all up. I think I've handed out about 400, and I have about 60 left, something like that. So more to go out if there's a need or one. Okay, so you ready? All right, so letting yourself feel all the feels here. Whatever you've been feeling, you saw the returns, stuff came up, whatever that's like in your body at this point. So the first step is recognize the signs. Now, what I mean is recognize the signs that I'm in reactive brain. So if anybody feels comfortable in telling us about any signs that you're in reactive brain, or you could put it in the chat, or you could just like yourself, because between you and you. But any signs that you're in reactive brain, anybody have any? Channel?
Tight shoulders.
Tight shoulders.
Restrictive energy, just sort of compressed, like a trash compactor.
Trash
Like
compactor.
Yeah. Pressure.
Pressure.
A sense of nausea, like
Nausea.
Yeah.
So our bodies are trying to tell us threat, threat, threat. Our reactive brain is constantly radaring for threat. When I do this, a little hand comes up. Anyway, because we have to. We have to know if the snow thing is going to fall on our heads, when we're driving, if that car over here really is going to veer entirely. We rely on reactive brain. It's why we all are still alive, really. So, yay. And you've detected threat. And how do you know? Tight shoulders, nausea, sense of trash compactor, right? So now my little hand is up there. I don't know if I can make it go away. Oh, lower hand, good. They're so cute, these hands. So recognize the signs. Other signs for me are my thinking gets very dark. How about you? And what I mean is hopeless, oh my God, a lot of fear thoughts. Now you could say, well, yeah, and I would not disagree with you that you should or would have fear thoughts to have their place. Are all those things going to happen? Possibly. I have no idea. So like our bodies are trying to get our attention, like, oh, this is, so notice that it's not that the thoughts are wrong or inaccurate. It's a signal that I'm in reactive brain. Okay. So the fear thoughts, the despair thoughts, the anger thoughts, all that stuff. Which ones am I leaving out? More fear thoughts, right? Signals that you're in reactive brain, as well as all the physiology. My heart was pounding in the middle of the night, pounding, that kind of stuff. Just a sign. It's a signal. I'm trying to show myself, if I pay attention, that I'm in reactive brain. And again, some folks, like, it's just that it seems like their life is in reactive brain. It's like, wait a second, there's something else. And I'd say, yes, because you know that you're not always in reactive brain. You have those times where you're just chilling out and you're okay. Whew, and you can breathe and your body feels better. So starting to be able to recognize the signs. The second step here is decide to shift. Now, this is a really important step today. You don't have to shift. I had a household, my house was filled. With Kath, and then my sister and my two nieces, and then two grandnieces were all in my household. So some of us were ready to shift and some of us were not. And there's no rush. You don't have to shift. I mean, the whole shock experience, I wasn't expecting this. Like, okay, so just take as long as you want. It's up to you if you want to shift. If you decide to shift, by the way, if you decide, I don't want to shift, okay, well, you can witness us, the rest of us, because I don't actually want to stay in that other stuff. I don't like it. It feels icky in my body. I don't like that sense of adrenaline. I just don't like it. I don't know. Does anybody like it? I guess maybe some folks like. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. Oh yeah, I am totally ready. Although just know that's not always true. Okay. I don't want to overstate this, but today it's true. So I'm ready to shift. And if anybody else is, then come along with me to step 3, which sounds very poetic. So step 3, it's not choose, it's discover the real issue using SEW. So let's spend a little time on this one, y'all. Discover the real issue. Now, this is a particular skill that at EPI we use over and over and over just to say and every time, really, almost every time, I'm surprised what comes out of my mouth for myself when I go into my body and I find what's really going on. And in fact, even in the middle of the night when I was doing this, like, oh, that's what's happening. So SEW, sensation, emotion, what you really want. And you can find a lot of a lot more information on SEW if you look up SEW relationship skill. It's something like that. The URL is like that. Put those together and you'll find our page, and there's demonstrations and I think there are handouts. There's a lot of stuff over there. And it looks like Laura might be looking for watching Laura for I don't know if you're looking for the actual link. Okay, so sensation, emotion, what you really want. That's what SEW is. Some of you are pros at this. Some of you have never heard of it before. Cool, fine, that's fine. So you already started noticing your sensations. And so this is, as we're doing this collectively, we're going to find out more about what's really going on, like across our board of people here. So notice your sensations. We're going to start there. So anybody list your sensations? Well, Nikki, you said trash compactor. Does that still feel true?
Yeah, sort of like the walls are closing in, like the room's getting smaller, something. Yeah.
And then
The car. We'll call it the car.
The car's closing in. Ah! So that dude's
Mhm.
getting smaller, and
And
then
racy heart, and just like a weird like jaw feeling, and shifty eyes, like narrowing of focus, kind of like, yeah. Mhm.
sensations. And we'll come back, Nick, to some of that. So that's what I mean by sensation. Racy heart, nausea, that stuff. So anybody else want to tell us what's happening for you right now, sensation wise?
Stomach is clenched.
Your stomach is,
I
or
have butterflies in my stomach,
butterflies?
just
Am I
churning, uncertainty stuff.
churning, uncertainty? Yes. Okay. Anybody else?
My jaw is so tight
So tight and achy
and a headache.
and a headache. Yeah,
I
Jen.
don't know whether I'm in denial, but I'm feeling divorced from it all. It's like, what is the illusion in this? And I think partly it's how can this be?
Oh, like kind of like,
Yeah, this
what the heck? Yeah. And so,
this was the
right?
last thing we expected. I mean,
Did
close
not
maybe,
see-
but not this.
Didn't see it coming. And so, Janet, as you're like, whoa, yeah, illusion, like you kind of figured some things out with it.
But
Do you-
illusion in the positive, the separating what is the illusion here, because it is an illusion.
Kinda like
And so
Maya.
that's what I'm grappling with.
Yeah, great question. Great question. And then do you notice any kind of experience in your body, any body sensations?
I do go in and out of angst. Yeah, I can feel, as Nikki's saying, the tightness, the
So kind of in and out. And where is the
wanting to be
tightness for you?
sick to my stomach.
It could like, ugh, I could throw up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ugh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, great. I mean, not great, but there it is, right? There's our body trying to talk to us.
Mhm. Not another 4 more years.
Here we go. I want to throw up.
I had the same feeling, but the interesting thing was I had a flashback of being driven to school in the morning. It was the same feeling
Oh, so where did you feel it, Susan?
in my stomach,
So that same
Sick.
ugh,
like, ugh, oh,
yeah,
yuck.
yuck. So we all have bodies, we're all having stuff, and so you can just track yours. And here's my next question with this. So sensations will tell us what the emotion is, but let's keep it simple. Only if you're in reactor brain, there's only anger, fear, sadness. You don't have to worry about all the other 300 on the emotions wheel thing. You can just start mixing and matching. So let's see, Christy, you said jaw tight headache. Is that mad or sad or scared?
That's very mad.
You feel mad, very mad. So the sensation tells you, oh, because mad is up here. I feel mad. And in this world, anybody gets to feel anything, anytime, for any reason. You get to feel as mad as you like. And of course you do. Like, not of course because anybody would. It's of this is me telling me, and you get to feel it. Like, yeah, good, because there's your body having an experience of the world. And so, Nick, when you talk about the trash compactor, is that mad or sad or scared?
I think it's funny because I thought I was mad, but when I tune into SCW, I really think it's I think it's fear, like just terror, real terror.
Real terror.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Like that's with the stomach, but the rigidity feels like anger. Like I'm sort of, it's an anger fear response. Like I'm
Anger,
kind
fear.
of protecting and mad all at the same time. Like, yeah.
and
Yeah.
terror.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
For sure, terror and anger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what we're not going to do is talk about, well, is there something to be terrified about? It doesn't, to me, that's not the issue. To me, that your body is saying, I feel terror. And I say to you, great for you to know that you feel terror, because that is the passage to finding out more. Like, and so, Nick, while you're thinking about and talking about the terror, what's the perceived threat or danger here?
Just trying to find my unmute. Just the terror that values in humanity will disappear, and that there'll be global conflict involving wars where holistic peace is really not possible. Yeah.
So how about letting yourself feel terrified about that?
Yeah.
So breathe with that, because your body is feeling terrified.
Mm-hmm.
So we could debate it all, but your body will still do what your body's doing. And so right now, to give you and give your body, and I'm speaking to all of us but all of everyone else here, to give your bodies the space to feel what they're feeling. That's step 3. Discover the real issue. I'm terrified, and we didn't get to your anger yet, but I'm terrified about global conflict, etc. What you just said. And Nick, what's the bottom line fear for you? What is the bottom line scariest thing that you're scared about that will happen?
Oh, I feel sad too. Like that the human race will essentially implode. Like it feels pretty dire and pretty extreme, but it's that sense of humanity as we know it may not stand a chance. And that's not saying humanity is perfect, and I'm not saying where we're at is perfect by any means. And yet some form of kindness or decency or respect will not be part of our blueprint as humans.
So how about letting you feel terrified about that?
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
So meaning breathing with that, because that is possible. Like what you're feeling is because it's accurate, not accurate that it's gonna happen, but your body's, if you're terrified about things or angry or sad, it's because like your body's telling you something. So especially fear, like, yes, all of what you're imagining is possible. So let's let you feel scared about that. Instead of trying to talk you out of it or like do 52 things to protest so you don't have to feel it. Let yourself feel as terrified as you feel. So if anybody else is terrified right now, to let yourself have it, to breathe with it, to allow it to come through. Let's give ourselves some terror space. And as you're noticing that, and we'll get to the anger and maybe to the sadness, I know I have to keep going here, but as you're noticing that, and I'm going to thank Nick, if you're all right with me asking you, just as a example. So what does this remind you of from your past? This terror, as you're feeling that trash compactor. Susan told us, oh, that fear reminded you of going to school. Like, this is reminding us all of something. This isn't just some brand new thing from the outside. It's triggering old things, or we would not be having these huge feelings. It doesn't mean we should. I don't mean anything about the huge feelings. It's just, it's coming up because it's already been in our bodies. So Nikki, as you think about that, is something coming forward of what this reminds you of?
It's not coming as easily as it's not here right now, but I don't have it. I don't have a thread on it right now.
Sure.
But it's a great question to wonder into. Yeah. If anything, it's sort of lack of choice or stuck in a situation, like of not being able to get out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lack of choice, kind of that terror of where I can't get out. I'm stuck. The walls are closing in. So do you all have to have something that reminds you of? No. Can you let yourself feel what you're feeling? Well, making it make sense to go back to the origin can be helpful. But meanwhile, the question with fear/terror is, what is the perceived threat or danger? And you all get to go to the bottom line. Like mine in the 3 a.m. was chaos, that things will be just chaotic. What does that remind me of? Well, I'll tell you, my family, but and I get to be scared about that. Letting your bodies do what they're doing. Yes, Erica. Hi, Erica.
Hi. I know that there's one that's probably earlier than this in terms of a trigger, but I think something that is so palpable right now is that we have lived through 4 years of this before. And I think something that happened at the end of those years, it's like an abusive relationship where you're like, okay, like that. So this is this re-traumatizing, like it's not an unknown, at least part of it, like what this is, and just sort of reliving the 4 years and the pandemic, and just that there was chaos, and that it's we all have that in our bodies of what it was. It's not yeah. And just that shame, there's a lot of shame of this is who we are. This is yeah, a lot of that is coming up. And I feel a little frozen in terms of connecting to what I'm sure there's some childhood, piece that is in there, but I'm not sure what that is. But I'm definitely reliving those 4 years.
And so letting your body have that, you said frozen stuckness, I think. So how about breathing into that?
Yeah.
And where do you feel that in your body?
I mean, my stomach is so tight. I just thought it was normal. I was oh, I don't feel anything in my stomach, but it's just a wall in there.
So
and when I hear other people talk, I definitely have that oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no fear.
Oh no. Yeah.
That just do we run? Do we hide? Do we what is that thing? We can't do it. I can't do it again. I can't do it again.
Can't do it. Yeah. And here's something I say to myself over and over when my mind gets so is the only thing that's true here is that your stomach is in a big knot.
Yeah.
Or it could be, that I have a headache. The only thing you could prove right now is from your body's perspective. All the rest of it, we've all collectively created stories around. This is arguable, you all, but just to really let yourself kind of land somewhere. What you could swear to right now really is just the sensations in your body. I find that very comforting because then everything else is like, is it true? I don't know. Could be. We could all vote that it's true. But is it?
Yeah.
Well, what's true is your stomach is just tight, tight, tight. So how about breathing into that and letting yourself notice that? This is the decide to shift thing. Oh, okay. And then Erica, is that mad or sad or scared?
Very scared.
Very scared. So
Yeah.
same thing. And we can just keep going through, right? Oh, we could do this for hours today.
Yeah.
Whew. And that would be a good use of my time, but not our agreement. But I know that's what I'll be doing a lot in the next, I imagine. So letting yourself feel scared. And then what's for you, Erica, what is the perceived threat or danger? The bottom line.
When you said chaos, that piece of it, there's also like, it gets very visceral when I think about my son.
Because what are you scared?
Yeah, he's a mixed race boy in a country with guns and racists and that are empowered, and that like someone will hurt him just because of what he looks like.
So that could happen. Now notice it's because it's a little mean. Do I sound mean right now? But no. It's like our bodies are telling us the truth. That could happen. So let yourself feel scared about that instead of let's try to paste over it. Maybe no, it's like that's why your body is like, don't you see? It's like, yeah, okay, I got the message. Your stomach is trying to tell you something. So if you hear the message, it doesn't have to just stay like that. So breathing into it and be like, yes, I know that could happen. Of course, I'm scared about that. With the thought or the potential here that then the fear could move through. Because again, the goal is to get to creative brain where, okay, what do I want to do? If I try to do something from reactive brain, that is a bad place to do, because like then I do the things like it's very impulsive, it's out of reactivity, and I do not have access to my creative thinking self. Well, keep them inside, keep them, protect them, don't let them go. Maybe, or let you feel scared so that you're not trying to control him because of your fear. Meaning you get to feel as scared as you feel here. So for those of us that are scared, the question is, what's the perceived threat or danger? And that you let yourself know it and be like, yeah, okay. I get to be as scared as I feel. Now, Christy, with your headache and your jaw, how's your headache and your jaw now?
My headache's not getting my attention as much. My jaw is still achy, but not quite as clenched.
So you said anger. Now, anger is tricky. Anger wants to blame. I'm mad because of those people. I'm mad because of that. I'm mad at it. Well, maybe, but from a sort of basic primitive place in our bodies, I believe anger it just comes up naturally. We're getting something that we don't want. We're not getting something that we want. So to get it out of the blame place, if you're ready, right? This is like, am I ready to shift? Well, I want to blame. Well, okay, go ahead and blame. But if you want to shift this, so Christy, what are you getting that you don't want or not getting that you want?
I'm not getting ease and joy and flow and connection.
Yeah. So how about letting yourself feel mad about that? Jeez, I wanted ease and joy and flow and connection. I could see it. I could feel it. I'm mad. I don't like this. This is not what I had signed up for. I'm mad. It's very frustrating. All the things that people did. And what's that like for you to let yourself feel mad?
Um, I'm choked up now.
Okay. Kind of shifted.
Shifting. Yeah.
How's your jaw and your headache?
I don't feel my jaw right now.
Right. So that shifted. And now the energy's moved to here. And is that mad or sad or scared?
Sad.
Sad. Sad. So for those that can recognize sad signals, so mad's up here, sad, heavy, lump in the throat, heavy heart, sad, scared stomach, clenching. So the question for sad is, what's the loss?
Mhm.
So for you, Christy, what's the loss?
Mhm. Um, yeah, I think joy, for me and for my children, um, and people I love.
So breathing with that, you've lost joy. And it sounds like maybe some hope for joy, or tell me more, like, because what did you lose?
Um, and maybe it's connected to ease and flow of um, feeling kind of closed in or protected, and not being able to connect to people or reach out or to like exude love in a way that I know I can. Yeah, just feeling like a loss. Like I want that, and I want that connection. I want others to feel that, and so yeah, the loss is like that was. It felt like that was ripped out. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna, I don't know if there's anything here, but, and so does that remind you of anything from the past?
Um. Yeah. Megan and I did SCW this morning, so it's like present to me, but it wasn't before we did this. And there was a very strong memory of a time when I felt bullied in elementary school, and
Wow.
the shift from when I was more free and uh, didn't care as much what other people thought, and that allowed me to be in a flow. And then yeah, so there was a big shift of losing that joy.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I don't want that for my children.
No.
Yeah.
Now this part is, as you all, especially if you're new to this, you're kind of like, trying some things out. Now, am I saying that Christy doesn't get to feel sad right now about potential bullying or losing joy? Of course not. Am I saying that you're primed to find that experience out in the world from your prior experiences? Yes. And that in many ways, I think the world helps us pull forward that old unhealed stuff. That energy is still in there, like, oh God, there it is. I didn't even know it was being bullied. There it is. I never got to feel what it felt like. Now I do. It feels like all this stuff in my body. So breathing with that, letting yourself feel that, notice the before and after of your own joyful self. How old were you?
Around 9.
So before 9-year-olds, yeah. So the before of the freedom and the joyfulness, and then the after of, oh geez. And how's your sadness?
I don't feel it in my throat.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how this is supposed to work. I got the message. It told me, I took me back. Oh, that's what it was. So we've got the S tells us the E, sensation tells us the emotion. And then the emotion tells us really what's the message. Either what's the loss, what's the perceived threat with fear, what are we getting that we don't want or not getting that we want, the anger. And so, Christy, as you're with us now, like you had a headache, your jaw was tight, this was coming through. What's happening now?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel lighter and maybe a little more settled. Not there's not as much energy here. Um, yeah, I'm more calm.
So because you were willing to shift and get the information, your body's been trying to talk to you, and you're like, okay, I hear you.
Mhm.
Here's what's really going on. Discover the real issue using SEW. Sounds like it has to do with losing joy and being mad about that. There's probably more, but those are a couple pieces. Does that sound accurate to you? Which everybody else, we've got our own stuff, whatever the real issue is. That's the discovery part of this. SEW is going to tell you what the real issue is. If you follow your body, it's just your body is so reliable. Your mind makes all this stuff up. Blah, 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 blah. It's terrible. It's going to happen. I don't know. It's trying to figure out to make order out of this chaos. But your body is it's like, okay, here's what's true. And so, Christy, thank you for walking through this with me. Because I wonder, now we're at the W, what do you really want? So I wonder what you really want.
Yeah, I want to be whole and present, and move through the world in a way that attracts others into that. Yeah, and exude love, and inspire that, and the safety of that. Yeah.
Does that feel true to you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I'm connecting to this ability or power. Like it feels true that I want that, and it also feels true that I'm capable of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for somebody else.
Yeah.
So notice that. That's what this is. That's what this framework is about, is saying, oh, I thought it had to do with out there in the government who's getting elected. It turns out my power is in my body. My power is my ability to connect with myself, find out the truth, and understand, actually, if I want to generate joy and love, I could do that right now. I don't have to wait 4 more years. I don't have to wait for something else and somebody to tell me something. I'm actually my own authority. That's what power with feels like. It's not out there. It's not somebody else. So going to Janet's illusion, well, yeah, right. It looks like I thought it was out there. We have a collective story that it's out there. But when I come into my own body, I remember, oh, wait a second, this is my life. If I want to exude joy or feel open-hearted, this is up to me. Create love. That is such a big thought. We have 9 minutes. I know that. We have like 7 more steps. We're not going to get to them today. So I just want to pause there and find out how you're all doing with that, because that's a huge idea. But wow, we just saw it. What I was doing when I did this process at 3 this morning, I went through the whole 10 steps and, oh, what do I really want? Oh, I want peace. I want peace over all the things. Yes. So I thought, oh, peace. That's what I want. Really? Oh, I can create peace. And I was laying there, created peace, and then I went back to sleep. You know, I didn't have to wait for something out there to be different for me to generate what I really wanted. So Laura, because you talked about your butterflies, anything you want to tell us is happening in your body? We can't actually hear you breaking up. I know, darn wire.
Sorry about that. A lot of wonder about what can my next steps be,
Great. Great.
you know? Because my big thing is this loss of belief that the world is a friendly place. And I don't want to lose that belief. And I don't lose that belief. But then there's this, okay, my wonder is how can I spread that?
Oh, that the world is a friendly place. Interesting question. Very interesting to me. Like, because if I can start to move out of the reactivity of stop it and no, that's terrible. And when I start to get creative brain, then I start to have, like conscious activism, sustainable activism. It's because, you know what I want to do? I want to spread that the world is a friendly place. That's fun. I can think of all kinds of ways to do that. And that's a fun thing. Is that going to change? Like, well, I don't know if it's going to change that, but it's going to change me and my experience of the world. It's going to change me right now if I start spreading that the world is a friendly place. It's a friendly place because I just made it a friendly place. I've got the power. Power's not out there. Power's not in some other authority. If we're going to dismantle the patriarchy, whatever your version of that is, it's going to be because we take our power back. It's going to be because we say, no, it's not somebody else's. It's me. I'm the source, and I can support the shifts by my very presence because you can. Because you can. I'm going to speed us through these other steps just to give you a taste. I'm also aware that a week from now, like my intention is to keep these calls going as long, like if we have two of us, okay, like to have this be a supportive environment a little bit further out because 8 was just arbitrary. And so if you registered, I'll keep putting the last video up so you can watch it if you're not here. And you could, these are public videos, send them to people that could use a different perspective. So anyway, so in terms of speeding through the other 7 steps, do I really need to? No, but I'll just give you a kind of a sense of there I was in bed and dark and scared. Chaos. I'm scared of chaos. What does it remind me of? My family. Okay. What do I really want? Peace. Okay. So then the 4th step, I have to look, is, accept and love what is. So I'm just going to nudge you all. Because we're not supposed to accept and love what is. No, it should be like, wait, protest, resist. I drove past a guy he had a big sign. It said resist capital, which I thought, well, I don't even know what I would do resist. Who is capital? What is that? Anyway, but he was walking back and forth in the across the street. Resist capital. Anyway, so I thought resist, right? We have to resist. We have to get out there. Now, that might be exactly what your creative step is. Great. Yay. It might not. And I don't have a value judgment. But if you accept what is, I don't mean lay down and be like, okay, just do anything. But what's true is today, this is true. Like letting your body relax into that. Oh, this happened. Should it have happened? Should it have? Did somebody? I don't know. This happened. Can we face into that? Can we like, yes, this happened. I didn't want this to happen. I did not want this to happen. Darn it. It happened. So breathing, facing into it. This happened. This is happening. Yeah, Ruth has a heartbreak. Yeah, and is feeling sad, maybe. I'm putting that with the heartbreak part. Yes. So it wasn't your idea. It wasn't what you were hoping for. You have feelings about that this happened. And it happened. Because otherwise we're out of sync with life. We're making life wrong. We're saying, no, I don't want that. Yes, Jen.
I've noticed that it's more like I kind of look at it and then I look away and do a bit of a drift. So I can't just kind of like fully face into that yet. Like I kind of have big waves and then I just like, okay, I'm going to drift.
Yeah.
Or do some, I'm doing prep work for painting. And so it's like, I'll go and do something else. I'll
Mhm.
get up and move or I'll drift. And then I'll kind of edge back in and kind of go, oh, this is what's happened. And then kind of go, yeah, well, I just don't really. So that's what I've noticed. So it's
Mhm.
kind of taking a little while to really face into it fully and accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So it might not happen today, or it might, but, and to let yourself kind of find the truth eventually, accepting what is, being with it eventually. Okay, here we are. Now I'm going to raise you one, or maybe like exponential 10. And how about loving what is? What? Who would do that? That's crazy talk. Well, all I mean, like, it doesn't mean, oh, I'm so happy this happened. I don't mean that. I mean, okay, I'm reorienting myself instead of no, life bad. Okay, I'm participating with life again, saying, I'm going to send my love out into the world because now I'm available to do that because I'm in creative brain. And just for the heck of it, just because I'm choosing to, I'm going to love what is. Like, I can love the planet. I can love what's happening in the climate. I can love, just like, because I'm choosing to send my love out into the world. I think the world could need a little of that right now. And you could too, because if you choose to send love out, you're already shifting your own physiology in some major way. We have 1 minute left. We're not going to do more steps. We will next time, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how people are doing in a week. What else can I just tell you? Oh, this. If you have any interest, what can I offer you? I frankly have no idea. I know we've got EPI, we've got practitioners and people in training. If you have interest in us just putting you on a list of folks that could use more support, how about just putting your name, your email address in the chat, so that we're not going to like contact you like, okay, now you're part of art. It's like, I don't know what we'll do with that. I probably would send it to, here's what I think I'll do is talk to our practitioners and just let them know that people are wanting and needing more support. We really could use another group, I think, just an online group to just do this kind of thing over and over, SEW over and over. So if you're interested in that, put your name in the chat. Otherwise, yes, you'll see this in the in your the class, the landing page of this class, and I am planning on doing this next week at the same time. And so I'll send out a reminder about that too. And if you know of anybody who would like to participate, who could use more support, please let them know. It's 2:01 now, well, in Mountain Time. That was a lot, right? Woo! And sliding home. So anybody want to tell us anything? Maybe you could tell us in the chat. Or anything you want to tell us verbally. Okay, well, I want to tell you how much I appreciate that you're out there. As all my family was leaving, I felt sad. But the 9-year-old and 12-year-old was with us and really immersed in the adults' angst. I mean, just really in the middle of all of that. And what I felt so happy about was that I could say to them, you know what, we're going to be okay. I support you. We collectively, see, creative brain is collective. Reactive brain is one against another. Creative brain, we naturally lean into our own collective connection. Creative brain connects immediately. It's not about right, wrong. It's about us. So I'm happy I could say to them, I'm with you. I'm with you through this. Whatever's happening. And that's what I believe in terms of what's perfect about this. I don't know. Is that possible to even go there? Well, it's helping us all go to some new dimension of kind of collective humanity together. Eventually, the ninth step is committing to Team Human. What? You mean we're all in the same team? Yeah, that's what I mean. You might not have to be there today, but you're on my team, and I support you in every way that I can. That is what I'm doing here. So thank you for being part of this with me. Yes, I see last thing. So anything else? Yeah, great. So just put that in there, and we'll find ways, hopefully, to connect more. That would be my intention. All right, everybody. Keep breathing, keep moving. Maybe read the little book, send it around, and teach people about SEW. The more you teach it, the better you'll do it. It'll be more and more, at least that's what I keep telling myself. All right. It's great to see you all. Big love to you. Bye-bye.